All right. Good friends, welcome to JAYSTRAYS. This will be episode 43. And what we're doing today, normally you guys see me working on the J20, and we have things in the pipeline to get that guy finished up. But today we're going to be focusing on the Jeep Gladiator. So we're going to be installing what we call the Rubigrid. And Rubigrid is a Bulletpoint mounting solution. There's a cool sticker that comes with it. And then it's got some equipment that it comes with. Okay, so we've got some mounting screws, we got some mounting nuts, we got an Allen wrench. So we got all of those pieces here. Bulletpoint also is nice enough to hook us up with a actual bottle opener. Okay, there's our Bulletpoint bottle opener. That's kind of cool. I didn't even know it came with it. And then it comes with a little wrench. And it comes with a little Phillips screwdriver. Now, for those that have WKs or Gladiators, this is a basically a storage solution. So this is to basically go in the center of my dashboard, where there's a rubber mat basically to put change and other little things. But this is basically an aftermarket product, and basically what you do is it comes apart. There's a bottom bracket, there's a top bracket. These screws come apart. The bottom bracket is going to go in. You mount it. There's some tape for mounting, and then you actually are gonna, what are you gonna put here? Well, we got mounting balls. And these mounting balls, you can put more than one, but it comes with two, okay? And then one of the mounting balls, you can put a GoPro mount. Obviously, that's what I'm filming with at the moment, is a GoPro. Also has a phone mount. As you can see, it says Bulletpoint. Very sturdy. And then this is the carbon fiber armature that holds the phone mount. And so then it would connect here. So join me, JAYSTRAYS, episode 43. We got the Rubigrid Bulletpoint install on the Gladiator on the Gladiator 2020. Makes me want to say J20 because I get the J20. So it's a 2020 Gladiator, and then we're going to put in the Rubigrid. All right, let's start off by looking at our assembly area. So we already have this existing phone mount that we've been using for quite a long time. It's pretty reliable, but unfortunately, its Achilles heel is it prevents me from putting in my Jeep sunscreen. So the first thing we want to do is we're going to get this guy out of here. So let's go ahead and remove the existing phone mount, and it's just kind of adheved there, as it were. So it has a little button you push on the back, relieves the suction, and then this guy's been on there for a minute. There we go. And we'll clean up the windshield here in a little while. I mean, this is still good. I mean, I guess I could use it. But again, it's kind of lost its purpose when it's blocking my ability to put my sunscreen. So we got that guy out of the way. And then let's take a look. This little area, this little compartment here is where we're going to be putting in the Rubigrid. And so here's what we have to remove. We're removing this little insert. And then you can see down in here we got a screw here, and we have a screw right here. These are going to come out, and then that first base plate locks in, and then the 3M will go in here. So we've got some cleaning stuff to clean this little guy out. We secure the first part, the mounting plate, and we put the top part that's got the apertures for the camera and for the phone. Okay, so JAYSTRAYS, episode 43. All right, so we're styling. So we got that old phone mount out. Pulled out that little rubber mat that's in there. Kind of the next step is on the Rubigrid, we want to take off these 6 Phillips. They're holding the top mount to the bottom. Oh good, this thing's magnetic. So we'll put that here. And then really the reason why you got to separate this is that bottom piece has got to go on first. Some people that are doing this sort of thing mount this and then try to put it in, and you've got to get to this base plate to do the screws that you're removing from inside the Jeep that are factory. So so you don't have to backtrack. It's best practices. And again, like I said, these are magnetic to a point. Go ahead and just take all of these top screws on the top of this base plate, and then you're going to see that there's plenty of room. This is almost like a Picatinny rail on a weapon, okay, where you can kind of just slide it back and forth. Those of us that are firearm owners know what I'm talking about, where it's, you know, it's open architecture is what they call it, right? So I can pretty much add just about anything that I want up here and mount it. But for our purposes, for the Gladiator, I got the 2020 Gladiator. You guys always see me doing stuff on the J20, right? The 86 J20, but this is the 2020 Gladiator that we're installing on this guy. All right, and so you see that piece just comes right off. And again, this is where we're going to be mounting our mounting balls that can hold the armature, the carbon fiber armature for the phone mount, as well as the GoPro. So we'll go one step at a time. So there's the top piece, and then here's the bottom piece exposed. And so these are, when I showed you just a moment ago when I was up at the dashboard, these are where those screws come out, here and here. And then this is going to go flush inside. You can see, let's see if we can put these screws in a safe place. And you can see how this rubber mat, this is how you know it fits too before you even change anything. See how the rubber mat fits perfectly over the top of it? Bada boom, bada bing. So you know you got the right one for your make and model of Jeep, okay? So I'm sure there's, you know, a little bit of research for those of us that might have a different type of Jeep. Say you've got a Cherokee. Well, Cherokee isn't going to have this kind of a situation, but I haven't seen the insides of some of those Compasses and some of those Jeep Renegades. So they could have something in the center that there could be a Rubigrid Bulletpoint mount that fits those systems. Not really sure. So next step is we're going to go clean the surface area of where we're going to mount this. So we got some little mounting procedures. We always want to clean the area first. So let's do that. All right, here we are. 2020 Gladiator, JAYSTRAYS. This is episode 43. And so now we're using some cleaning wipes to get any residuals. And we want to make sure that area is clean, that the 3M, I think it's 3M, you want to be able to make sure that there's nothing that is preventing adhesion. Is that the word? Preventing adhesion. You know, I bump around in this Jeep, sometimes have the windows down and the roof off or whatever, and so dirt and stuff can get in here. And so it's just before you decide to put your stuff in, just best practices, get the whole little area detailed, and then we'll just kind of let that dry. Okay, And the next step is we're going to be removing the screws out of here. So we're going to let this dry, and then, you know, when that base plate goes in there, then we'll be ready, set, go. So let's let that dry, and then we can go ahead and remove those screws. Okay, so the next little step here on the Rubigrid install, I can't get my head in here. All right, so I'm using this same screwdriver that it came with the Bulletpoint Rubigrid install to remove these two screws that are the factory screws that rest inside of that rubber catchment. So there's one, just to show the screw in the light. There we go. And so there's only two of them, one and one. And we made sure to get this little change capture or organizer, or whatever you want to call it. Got the inside of this kind of clean. All right. So you don't want to lose these. Set them aside, because once that base plate's back in, then you need to put these back in. So hold on to those guys. All right, let's go to our next step, the install of the base plate. Sometimes we like to take a moment of pause here at JAYSTRAYS, and you see how it's just sun with the rain, you know. Got the J20 over here eyeballing, wants to be finished. It's crying, say, Jay, finish the J20. I know your time is coming, but today we're focused on the Gladiator. And so just wanted to show you that bit of weather. We got the sun with the actual rain coming down. It's kind of nice. It's winter time here in the Sierra. You can always double check things prior to actually pulling the 3M tape off, which I highly suggest. You know, you just make sure that it lines up. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. So that fits right in there. And again, some of you will be inclined to try to put both the top and the bottom on in the same time. You can't, because you can't access this flap. And this is the flap that's mounting to the inside. So we're now going to mount the base plate. We'll go ahead and take off the 3M. So it firmly adheres to the surface area that we cleaned. And it just gets right in there. We'll just go one at a time. Let's just go with this guy first. Kind of just got that finger tight. And then, yeah, as you can see, you just want to make sure that these screws, you know, you don't want this thing rattling loose. So get it pretty firm without, you know, trying to buckle the metal that it's attached to. So you want to get it nice and flush. Double check, another quarter turn. And you know, this is ready, set, go. So that's in there, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so the next piece in our install of the Rubigrid is actually, we want to actually put the base plate on, but we want to put the mounting apertures on before we put that on there, because it's just easier to do. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to do the mounting apertures, or those little ball connectors, and then we'll set about connecting this. All right, so we continue. Got a Rubigrid, and so we've already got the base plate. This is the top of the base plate, and then so basically you've got two of these mounting units. Okay, and so it's kind of up to you where you want to put them on here. Like I said, it's like a Picatinny rail on a firearm, where you can able to slide things back and forth for mounting purposes. And so this thing comes with a little Allen wrench, and that's what we're going to grab right now. Looks like there's some extra pieces in here, which is pretty smart. They included all kinds of little extra pieces. Excellent, excellent. So what I've been doing is basically using the top of the box, and this is a good idea. I mean, it's just everybody's got their own way of doing it. But I can capture the bolts, capture the washers, without it rolling all over the place and losing something. There we go. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. There's our Allen wrench. And so I'm going to come all the way over on this side because I want my phone closer to me. So that's kind of how we're gonna rock it today. And the easiest way to do this is one at a time. I use a thumb to hold. Grab the spacer. Get that spacer back on there. Grab the nut. Just get that bad boy finger tight. And then I just, you know, you can move it back and forth, but it's best practice is to get one on. And get that second guy on the bottom kind of diagonally. You want to get even pressure on this thing, so you know, again, you don't bend the metal in any way. That's kind of my philosophy on this. Okay, there's two. See, if you just kind of hold it upside down, see, there's the technique right there. Just hold it upside down like I'm doing, and you can access all of those mounting holes. It'd be easily put the washer and the nut on. There you go. And now I can lock this down wherever I want it, you know what I mean? So there's one. Well, we end up having to switch over to the Craftsman. Okay, Craftsman. The little handheld Allen wrench is fine, but if you want to, you know, kind of really be able to put things on and then be on there evenly, because it slides around when you're doing it. Again, I'm using this box, as you guys can see. This little box is just turned out to be a blessing, and I just kind of go one Allen wrench bolt at a time, using their little wrench that they gave, and then of course I'm using my Craftsman here. It just gives me better leverage. This little guy. That's the last one right there. There you go. And so this is basically it sitting in there. So you have one and one. Now you can move these anywhere you want on here. You can put more. Okay. So we're now going to put the brackets for both the phone and the GoPro. We're going to get all of that put on now. Now again, a lot of these are extra little mounting hardware things. I haven't had to actually use any of these extra things. It already came with everything so far. So we need to get on here. So this comes apart and you can get it around the ball. Just loosen it up. And then you can tighten it back up again. Okay. And it turns, you know, obviously. So we loosen this up. So this is the carbon fiber arm on the Rubigrid that holds your phone. The bullet point here. I'm sure you can adjust it any way that it suits you. So I'm just kind of pre-setting this, as it were. And then here's the GoPro mount. Loosen that guy up. So this is what it should look like before you actually put it on the base plate that's in the vehicle. So this is kind of how it should look. Again, approximation is up to you. So our next step, we're going to mount this bad boy. And once one's seated, the rest of it's seated. There we go. Just nice and easy. Looking good, looking good. One of the main reasons I got this, and I might have explained it in prior editions, is that see, this camera mount moves, you know, the ball can be moved down, so we're going to put that down, but this is for the GoPro, so you can mount it. And it's really because I have to have a sun visor that goes in here. This is a leather hand-stitched dashboard because this is the Overland edition. So that being said, I want to A, protect my dash, and B, I want to have, you know, tools that are facilitate the JAYSTRAYS mission and keep myself hands-free, which is keeps the, you know, the legal eagle happy. Oops. I think I'm missing one screw. I left it over there, or it fell out of my pocket. Let's go grab that last screw. Alright, we got our tidying up things. Got our last little screw going in. Get it in there seated correctly. And there you have it. Let's mount our phone and see how it looks on here. Okay. So we'll just start this here. See how this all works. Very nice. Very nice. And
know about the information, just very honest with that.
So the great news is that I can move this around. I can rearrange things a little bit, as it were. So, but I think that's kind of right where I want it. And then we're going to do a handy dandy switcheroo here. And what we're doing is mounting this guy. Pretty snug. But there you go. So now JAYSTRAYS can actually talk to you while he's driving, hands-free. So yeah, that's the big enchilada. So yep, we got the Bulletpoint Rubigrid install. This is JAYSTRAYS episode 43. Really appreciate you sticking around with me. I've got some other plans for the Gladiator, other upgrades. The finality of the Holley EFI sniper install on the J20, that's right around the corner as well. We got some other good things. Hopefully everybody had a good Christmas and a happy New Year's. So this is episode 43. It's the last episode I'm filming before the end of the year. So technically I've got 1 year with JAYSTRAYS. I didn't quite hit 52 episodes in 1 year. I had a couple of little things that kind of jammed me up, but I was darn close, right? So 43 episodes out of 52 weeks. That's pretty good. So stick around. We got some more cool stuff on the way, and hope you like this, you know, good content, and always take recommendations and good commentary. And so God bless everybody. Happy 2025, and let's do big things. Join me, JAYSTRAYS.